Okay, so I keep seeing people use these filters to like make a scenario or whatever, usually about going out, but I wanted to do a salon version, so let's get started. This one doesn't count, by the way, but let's go. Okay, who was a half hour late to their appointment but still wanted to be seen? Hello? See, girl, no. No, you were getting kicked out. No. With all that hair, no. And who is the client after Rapunzel that is mad that she's trying to get seen and take her appointment? I'm going to take Belle. Who is asking for unrealistic expectations? Like, who wants platinum? Typical. Okay, who cried because their haircut didn't come out the way they liked? Or the way they thought it would? That's what you get for being 30 minutes late. Okay, who left a lousy tip after claiming they were going to leave me a good one? What's to infinity and beyond? Not your bank account, clearly. Okay, this one wants to get their hair done, but this one is saying no because it's too expensive. Oh, his hair is too expensive, but not... Girl, get out of here. This one dropped this one off for a haircut and then left them there stranded and didn't come back until 3 hours later. Understandable. You should have been gone for like 3 days, honestly. Also, why does Rapunzel keep popping up? Like, girl, leave me alone. Last but not least, who walked in 3 minutes before closing and demands to be seen? Okay, just because you're a prince doesn't mean you get things how you want. More clothes, boy. Bye.
I said, I don't think that he's good for you. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Come with me on a girls' trip to Washington, D.C. So the trip had a rough start from the beginning because not only did our flight get delayed for 2 hours, but when we finally arrived and got to our hotel, they told us that the AC was not working. And let me tell you, the day we arrived to D.C. was disgustingly hot. Most of us live in Florida, so we expected to get a break from the summer heat by going more north, but Washington, D.C.'s weather was also disgustingly hot and humid. So we were not thrilled by the news that the AC wasn't working, but they told us it'd be fixed by that night, so we dropped our luggage off at the hotel and went to explore. Our first stop was going to be the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, but there was a bit of a mix-up with the Uber, so we got dropped off at the National Museum of American History instead. Our plan was to just go over to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History after we finished up here, but we had the hours wrong, and when we showed up to the other museum, they were locking the doors and telling us they were closed, so that idea went out the window. Then we went out for drinks and dinner at Urban Roast. This is a place I'd been to once before a few years ago, and I knew the girls would love it. For a drink, I got the Island Glow, and I also tried short rib for the first time, and I don't know if it was just like the sauce or what, but it was not for me. Like, I'm a picky eater, so I don't think it was the restaurant. I think it was just my weak ass palate could not handle it, but I was like, ooh, I do not like this. I ate it because I was hungry, but I don't plan to get it again. At least now I know I don't like it. Anyways, after dinner, we walked over to Old Ebbitt Grill and finished the night there with another cocktail. Now the next day was all about museums, and we went to the Library of Congress first, which this building was so pretty. Then we went to the Holocaust Museum, which is a place I really wanted to go, and of course it was devastating, but it's so worth it to check it out. And then finally we got redemption with the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History and finally got to see the Hope Diamond. This thing is beautiful, and I wanted to see it because I heard about the supposed curse that it has, and I pretty much spent all my time in the gem section, honestly. I was so distracted by all the shiny things that I just spent like an hour looking through there at all the pretty jewelry. Now for dinner, we went to the Hamilton, and I completely forgot to film any of our food while we were there. Oops. But afterwards, we went to the Alchemist, which is a place I had seen on TikTok. I got the Captain Sparrow because your girl is a massive Pirates of the Caribbean fan, and it was delicious. Out of all the cocktails I got in DC, that was probably my favorite. Now, when we got back to the hotel, the funniest thing of the entire trip happened. So my friend Caitlin had drank a lot that night, and somehow somehow when she was going to brush her teeth, she grabbed a tube of tretinoin and brushed her teeth with it. I was like nearly in tears. I was laughing so hard. And so then she started puking, and I am a sympathy puker. If somebody else pukes, I'm gonna puke. So I had to cover my nose so I wouldn't smell it and start vomiting myself. Oh, but she was in there for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes just puking her guts out. It was so funny. But after like her third puking session, she was good. She made sure to triple check the toothpaste for the rest of the trip. So the next day we went to Alexandria and walked around and looked at all the scenery. And this is where I got my DC magnet. If you've seen any of my travel videos before, you know I always get a magnet, and this is the one I got. I actually lost it at one point. I put all of my stuff down while I was taking this picture, and ironically this is the gift shop I bought the magnet at, and I guess it fell on the ground when I went to pick everything back up, and I did not notice until hours later. Like, we were about to leave and I looked down and I was like, wait, where's my magnet? So I ran back, and luckily it was still right on the ground, right where I left it, so I didn't have to buy another. I'm shocked it was still there, but it was in a paper bag, so I think people probably just thought it was trash and just left it alone. So after I found my magnet, we went back to the hotel and got ready for dinner. I didn't take any video of the place that we went, but it was this Italian place, and I just have to shout this place out because the owner was so nice and we all really enjoyed the food, so I would definitely recommend it for sure. So the next day was our most jam-packed day. We started off with brunch at the residence, which I was the one who wanted to go here, and I did not realize it was outdoors. Luckily we went first thing in the morning before it got too hot, but I was like, oopsie, sorry guys, this is kind of hot. Afterwards we had tickets for Ford's Theater, but we finished our brunch a little earlier than expected, so we hopped into the National Portrait Museum for a bit to waste time. And I had to get a picture with Miss Jean Harlow, of course. I have no idea if I'm related to her or not. I kind of doubt it, but I had to take a picture anyways. Then we went to look at all the presidents' portraits before heading over to Ford's Theater. And Ford's Theater was probably my favorite thing we did on the entire trip. It was just really cool to visit. And we also got to check out the house that Lincoln died in, which is right across the street. And there was a lot I did not know about Lincoln's assassination. So it was just kind of cool to see everything, to see where it happened and see how he died. I just thought it was a cool experience. And then next on our agenda was to go to the National Archives Museum. And you better believe I kept pretending I was Benjamin Gates and National Treasure the whole time.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
But unlike Benny Boy, I did not walk out with a declaration. So after this, we went over to our dinner reservation at Founding Farmers, and I would say food-wise, this was my favorite restaurant we ate at. All I got was a burger, but I've been craving that burger ever since I left. It was so good. Now after dinner, we hopped onto a bus tour that was going to take us to see all the monuments. It was a 3-hour tour that went past sunset, so we got to see some of the monuments at night, which was really cool. I do wish we had had more time to walk around at each location, but there were a lot of monuments to fit in, so you only got about 5 or 10 minutes before you moved on to the next, but it was still fun. Then the next day, it was time to fly back to Florida, and I somehow stumbled across the grand opening of this gift shop. Like, how random, but I've always wanted to cut one of those giant ribbons with the giant scissors, so I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit jealous watching it in person. But anyways, we got on our plane and went back home to Florida, and that was our girls trip. So this person asked for a tour of all my Hello Kitty glasses that I use in my videos, so I'm gonna give you one. I also have these two, which aren't Hello Kitty glasses, but we'll talk about those after these. So yes, these are my Hello Kitty glasses. Unfortunately, these two have lost the bow. I still have the bows. I've just been too lazy to put them back on. They need to be screwed on. Like, I don't know if you can really see it in there. I mean, I don't even know where the screw for this one is. It's completely out, but I'm just too lazy to screw them on. If I ever find the will to do it, I will. But yes, this is my light pink pair. It usually has a red bow, I believe. And this one usually has a light pink bow similar to this, but like I said, those have fallen off, but at least these three still have their bows on. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but I kind of use certain colors for like certain characters. This is the first pair I ever bought. I bought this so long ago. I think I was like 18, 19, 20. And this one is my favorite because the material it's made out of is like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Smooth and like shiny, and it's just like really, it doesn't like get anything stuck to it. Whereas these are a lot thicker. The material's more rubbery, so stuff kind of sticks to it and it just feels gross. But anyways, like I was saying, I use different ones for different types of characters. Somebody's boss usually wears these. A doctor usually wears these because, you know, black's a little more professional. Anytime I'm having a character that's more professional, they wear the black. Now, when I have characters that are kind of the bad characters characters, the annoying characters, the characters we don't like, they usually wear these two. And it's because I don't like that material. Because this one's made out of the same material as the teal one. I'm irritated with these glasses, so they're the people that I don't really like. They usually get that. The yellow is kind of a mix of who I have play, and also this is the only one that has polka dots. It kind of reminds me of a bee, although bees don't have polka dots, so I have no excuse for why that reminds me of a bee. But so these are kind of just side characters that sometimes are good, sometimes are bad. You know, if I want someone that's a little feisty, because yellow is a little more vibrant than the rest of these colors, they wear that. Pink's my favorite color, so I tend to wear these on characters that I want to be more girly-ish. Sometimes I just want to wear pink, but I have two other pink pairs. These, however, are not Hello Kitty glasses. This is just hot pink glasses. And then these were actually glasses that I bought for myself, and the prescription was way off. Like, these were supposed to be for me to wear, but I got like the measurements wrong. Okay, now that it doesn't have the frames, I pushed the frames out. I pushed the frames out on all of these so that there's no reflection. But when I still had the frames on these, they were too heavy, and every time I looked down, they would just fall. So that's what I get for ordering it online with my prescription and not going through an eye doctor. But eye doctors always have the ugliest glasses, so I wanted my own pair. But then I got LASIK, so I don't need it anymore. So I just pushed out the lens, and now I use this. I feel like I use this pair for like moms, I feel like. So yeah, I just kind of go off vibes or whatever matches the outfit of the character. Or sometimes I just use a color I haven't used in a while. I would like to get a red pair, because like these are red on the side, but you don't really see it when I'm filming. So I kind of want to get a red pair. And I was just thinking I don't have a green pair either, so green pair might be kind of cool. But yeah, these are all of my glasses. You guys have to tell me which one is your favorite. I should buy more. It's been a while since I bought more. But that's it.